Hi, welcome back. Now that you understand how to work with the rows, cells and columns, we are now going to look at how to create a table in an Excel. How to create a table within a worksheet. Now there are different ways that you can use to create a table. The first way is that you can always click on the insert menu here and insert, and then say you can then click on table, then click on OK. Now the selected cell is where your table will appear. If let's say my selected cell was that, and then I click on insert, then table, the table will appear in that location where I have selected it. Now there is something that happens when you do that. The the table that is inserted has only one row and one column. That is if you've not expanded it. The heading section, then one row and column, it's just within that cell. So if you want to expand it, you can move your pointer to this lower section here and select it first, select it, click on that, then drag to expand the bottom section. So I've expanded so that I have a number of columns. If I want more rows, I'll now move it downwards. I can expand my table as far as I want it. I can expand it or I can reduce it, just depending on the kind of table that I want. I can opt to reduce it, so I just go back to this section here and drag it back upwards. So after that happens, I'll edit the entries. I can opt to remove that, and maybe say I'll want this portion to maybe have some titles, or maybe just give it a title right here, or type my entries down here. If it is numbers, I just type 1, 2 as I move down that way. So I can do that. Then I can edit any of this. I just double click it and change. If I just want to maybe say numbers, then I'll have changed that. I can do the same for all these other columns. Now that depends on what are the kind of table that I'm creating and the kind of entries that I'm required to enter as the heading section. So that is the first way to create a table. You can edit that as much as you want. The second way, I'm just going to undo that, or maybe just go to sheet 2 and say the second way that we can use to create a table is you just make your entries. Like I can say here days of the week, or we can just type there maybe names. Let me just say names. So I'm just going to go with the common names. I'll say John, say Susan, then I'll say Isaac, then I'll go with Julie, Jeff, and maybe something like Joyce. Just that again, sorry, Joyce. So I have made my entries here. I'm trying to make my entries fast before creating a table from the data that I will have entered within my worksheet. So I can just say there names. I can type here names and then type here days of the week. Depends on what you choose to use. Then I'll just say maybe even days of the week. So in the days of the week section, I just type Monday. Then I'll do this. It's called an autofill function. We'll look at it in one of our videos soon. So you can see that the moment I type this and drag it, I'll fill it automatically to maybe the day that I want it to be. So after making these entries, I'll just type numbers. I'm going to set a pattern so that these numbers increase. I'll have that, and I'll have 80. Then here I'll have 35 and 70 doubles, so that section will double. And then I'll have 60 and 90. And I'll have 45, 65, 54, 64. So I'm just trying to fill random numbers. I'll fill it automatically 29, 59. And I'll now I just now select this, and I want to now extend it. And I'll explain that later. I'm just trying to fill this my table so we don't move a little bit faster. We move a little bit faster. So let me undo that and select first. Select this. Select. So the point here is that when I want to create my table using this format, I will I'll do this. I'll just enter my data, and then I'll select it. I'll select that section of my table. So if I want all this to appear there, I'll just select the whole of it from here. Then I'll come to this section and say format as table. Then I'll choose a format for my table. I'll choose a layout. If I want that, and I'll click on OK, then it automatically creates a table from that. So the unlabeled section takes just column 1 because it hasn't been labeled yet. So that's just what happens when I don't make any entry in that section. So you can always work with your table as much as you want. You can just do anything with it. You can decide to add, maybe if let's say I want to maybe add a row or something, and just select it. I'll just enter here, and then I'll just select it and go back to format as table and fill that back up. Or I can as well just come to this section and expand it. Then I'll have added additional rows here. If for instance I have maybe some more entries like names or some things that I have not entered here, and I want to, I'll just drag it down like I've done here, drag it and make my entries. The same applies with the columns. If I want to maybe insert create extra columns for more data, I'll just move it there and drag it to the right. Now you can note something here that if I expand that, the last section of the last column is repeated, the column for Sunday. So that just happens automatically. So I can just pull that back and drag it back to where it was, and this also back to where it was. There are quite a number of table formatting options that you can always use. As we have said, you can always select this, you can always select it and select it first, and then you can go to the layout, maybe look for work on a few formatting options. You can change colors, you can change font, you can change effects and a few things. You can always put a background, work on that or something. So this is just what happens with the tables. So if you want to change the table format, you go to the design menu and you can choose a different style here. You can opt for a clearer and maybe a table style that does not have so much background color or something. So it's you to choose the kind of table format that you prefer from this section here. You can as well just edit the data within your table by double clicking. If you double click and select, and I will say maybe I want that to be 80, just do that and edit it, and then it will have changed. So that's just that simple, creating tables. The best thing you can do is you can exploit on your own. You can try to do a few tests or exercises, and by that you have maybe a better chance at getting to understand it much better, because if you practice it, you get to know new things and maybe more things. Just experiment. You can do it anything, just create a table and anything that will work for you. So if you're a beginner, I hope this helps you know how to create tables and maybe work with tables in Excel. Better explanations are coming in next videos. Thanks for watching. Click on the subscribe button. Bye.